The sun peaked over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the cracked asphalt of Honest Motors, my struggling car dealership. With only $798 in the bank and 3 cars on the lot, I was a man on a mission. The latest update for Car Dealer Simulator had just dropped, promising a slick parts preview for the repair machine, a slider for targeting repair percentages, and a fix for that infuriating bugs where parts vanished from the warehouse. Best of all, there was a chance we could finally name our saves. I hit record, the red dot blinking on my screen, and dove into the game, ready to turn my failing lot into a cash machine, or crash trying. It was a crisp Tuesday morning in-game when I loaded my save. The dealership smelled of oil and ambition, but my memory was as spotty as the paint on some of my inventory. I pulled up the in-game tablet to check the status of my cars. One, sleek sedan, had its photos done, marked by green check marks, a handy feature the developers added. The other 2 still needed shots. The sunrise painted the sky in vibrant pinks and oranges, and I knew it was time to list these cars and make some deals. With my bank account on life support, every sale counted. First up, the sedan. Market value is $14,500. I couldn't believe my eyes. This was big-time money for Honest Motors. I listed it at $19,296. Aiming high. The second car, worth $5,461, got a photo boost up to $5,766. I tried listing it at $9,000. That was a bit too greedy. I dropped it down to $7,000. Now we're a little too low. Finally, we listed at $7,668. The last car, a rugged off-roader, had a market value of $14,036, but I listed it at $18,667 just to see if I could get that little bit more out of the customer. By 8:30 a.m., a customer strutted onto the lot, eyeing the sedan. I made sure I had candy and cigarettes in my inventory. These are the negotiation tools of the trade. I checked the car's value just as a reminder, $14,509. The customer offered above market value, a rare win. I countered at $18,500, then $17,800, and after tossing in a cigarette, sealed the deal at $17,500. Thank you, Benjamin. Much appreciated. My bank account jumped past $17,000. Ka-ching! Next, the car right next to it, valued at $5,766. The customer's offer of $5,160 was close, but stingy. I pushed for $7,250, then $6,750, still above market value. A piece of candy later, I dropped to $6,400 and she bit. 2 down and 1 to go. The off-rider, listed at $18,667, sat lonely on the lot. While waiting, I noticed the CargoWise P4 van in the shop. A real fixer-upper. 5 exhaust holes, missing fuses, and in need of a battery. Just as I started assessing it, the bell rang. A customer for the off-roader. Her initial offer was $14,457. Solid, but below my listing. I countered at $18,100, and she crept up to $15,804. And after some back and forth, we settled at $16,891. Another win. Back to the van, I had enough tape to patch the exhaust holes, so I got to work. I replaced the fuses that were missing and used a 100% battery in stock to save the day. With the mechanicals done, I drove the van to the body shop. Its body condition was a flat 0%. This was going to be a grind. At 10:31 a.m., I fired up the grinder. The van's hulking frame making every angle a challenge. Yellow patches glowed on the scanner, marking the areas I had to sand down. I moved slowly so I could avoid the stuttering marks when I switched to the putty, feeling each imperfection. The paint gun felt sluggish, maybe a quirk of the update? Then I coated the van in its original color, ensuring no spot was missed. By 12:37 p.m., after 2 hours, the bodywork was done. The van was finally coming together. It still needed a wash and a wax. In the wash bay, the van looked oddly clean. Maybe treated condition meant pre-washed? I applied the wax anyway, the white film barely visible against the paint of the car. By almost 3 p.m., after almost 5 hours since starting this vehicle, the van was ready. I slapped on new plates and confirmed the repairs. Market value is $12,241. I rushed to list it, but realized I'd skipped photos. Classic scatterbrain move. I snapped the shots, making sure to avoid the pedestrian in the frame, and listed it at $17,126, boosted by the photo bonus. While waiting for buyers, I eyed an upgrade for the body shop. $20,000 for a paint booth and a worker to speed things up. With $41,000 in the bank, I could afford it, but held off, needing the cash to buy more cars. A customer finally appeared for the van, offering $11,653, below market value and my listing. I counted at $16,850, and even with the candy, the best we could do was settling at $14,559. Still a profit. By 4 p.m., with the dealership closing at 8, I'd sold 4 cars. A killer day. I checked for nearby cars to buy, favoriting a Harmonia Vehicles Largo and another CargoWise P4. I scheduled the meetings, jumped in my truck, and realized it was out of gas. As I was arriving at the first car, I realized I'd forgotten my tow dolly. Cursing my forgetfulness, I fueled up and then headed out. Coming back to the Largo, a treated vehicle, listed at $26,514. The customer was asking $29,700. That's outrageous. I offered $23,500. That's either bold or stupid. They countered, and after some haggling and a candy, we settled at $27,633. Well, I am going to have to accept it just because I need a car and I can turn around and sell. And that car got some air, holy cow. It needed fuses, a battery, and bodywork. So I got to it. Back at the shop, I swapped the fuses and battery, thankful for my stockpile. The bodywork was going to be another grind. Sanding, puttying, and painting the black car under fading light. By 6 p.m. I was racing against the clock. The paint went on smoothly, and after waxing, The car shined. I drove it to the lot at dusk, snapping photos in the dim glow. It was 8:40 in the evening, past closing. But I couldn't resist one more deal. I grabbed the tow dolly and headed for another car, valued at $20,658. This one was listed at $22,500. I offer $16,500, then $17,500, and with a cigarette, we settled at $20,744. It was another treated car that needed exhaust patches, fuses, and a battery. What does treated mean anyway, if it means that you have to do all this work on these cars? By 11:30 p.m. I was fried. The inventory system was a nightmare. Why can't I pull tape out of the inventory like I can batteries and fuses? I patched the exhaust, replaced the battery, moved the car to the body shop. As I finished the repairs, exhaustion hit. It had been a chaotic day. But I'd flipped 4 cars, bought 2 more, and turned my $798 into a respectable bank account. Honest Motors was still alive, maybe even thriving. I shut down the game, grinning at the hustle. If you stuck with me through this wild ride, you're a legend. Time to call it a night. Go ahead and smash that like button and leave a comment down below if you liked this video. Tomorrow, we'll do it all again.